Hello and welcome back to a new episode of our Worst Weapons run in Ultimate General Civil War, and today is the second day in the Battle of Chickamauga. Yesterday we were able to hold back the enemy, but now they and our forces have received reinforcements. The Confederate army numbers roughly 60,300 soldiers and 257 artillery pieces, while our army numbers 64,800 soldiers and 280 guns. We have a slight advantage over the enemy and we are on the defensive, but all of our infantries are armed with the Springfield M1842, meaning that the enemy weaponry severely outclasses us. Elements of our army are advancing to investigate the right flank of the Confederates. Last night, a lone enemy brigade was spotted near Jay's Mills, probably belonging to Forrest's cavalry. We should destroy this small force before the reinforcements arrive. If we control Brotherton Road Junction, we can thwart a rebel advance to the north. General Bragg is expected to respond to our attack by sending reinforcements from Alexander's Bridge Road. We of course send our forces to these objectives and try to destroy the enemy. If we hold this objective and hold further objectives to our rear, we are going to lose the battle, but this is going to take a lot of offensive power that we simply don't have. Therefore, I want to focus on a defensive battle. I want our soldiers to remain behind this river line where we can easily hold back enemy advances and to therefore buy us the time we need and therefore allow us to bleed out the enemy. If we attack, we will take a lot of casualties that we simply cannot afford. Let's order our skirmishers over here to hold their ground. And these boys are going to take position over here. But I think Whitting is going to be needed over here to hold our side and our rear. Hoffman, you're going to be moving over here. And these boys are going to move over here. We have now received some reinforcements. And I'm currently not so sure how we are going to use them the best. I'm going to send out a couple skirmishers. And in the meantime, I want these boys to move further to our rear. These 10-pounders and 6-pounders are also going to move behind our lines. Can we get Mahone and Price forward? Maybe we can distract the enemy if we try to contest this position, but I'm not willing to really risk a lot of our soldiers. And it looks like we have encountered enemy skirmishers that were trying to scout our area. Mahone takes a couple casualties, but Price is also in the area. They are on the flank of those skirmishers. Mahone, hold your ground and get to attack those skirmishers. Either way, we are going to attack their flank. Scott is coming up, however. Come on, Price, deliver a good round and now fall back. Mahone, open up on the flank of those skirmishers. Nice volley, not too many casualties caused. Over here, Mahone and Price are going to hold our sides. 6-pounders, you're going to hold behind them. 10-pounders, you're going to shift further to this position. And Price's skirmishers have been repaired. Let's get Mahone's boys back to limit our casualties. Mahone is getting rear flanked. These skirmishers must have sniper rifles, and Scott, I assume, has breech loading rifles, maybe some sharps. Price, get forward so that you have a bit better cover. Mahone, you unfortunately have to stand out in the open. And now we are going to order our skirmishers to reattach. We can see that Scott is moving further to the south and we can hear charging enemies. So far we cannot see them. Let's give all of our infantry the hold command. And within due time the battlefield is going to expand. 6-pounders and 10-pounders. For now you are holding your fire. You're not going to engage. I want Price to move further over here so that Sweeney can open fire. And soon our battle lines should collide. Okay, we have received some more reinforcements. Let's quickly reorganize the boys. We have some 10-pounders and 6-pounders I'm going to send over here. Garfield and McCord are going to be sent in front of these forces. Garfield's skirmishers are going to hold our flank. And we can see that enemy skirmishers are already attacking us without us having them inside. Let's order our 6-pounders and 10-pounders to resume their fire. Mahone should be able to drive back these skirmishers with a couple of volleys. Let's order McCord on the double. Garfield needs to move on the double. There's Ashby trying to charge us. These 6-pounders and 10-pounders are about to set up. 10-pounders are going to set up over here. Garfield's men are getting rear flanked by charging skirmishers. And McCord can open fire. Price can also move up onto the enemy. 6-pounders are opening up on these skirmishers. Garfield's skirmishers just need to fire some time until Garfield and McCord have set up. And now it says that we severely outnumber the enemy. We are receiving more reinforcements. They are coming from our north. Let's send Canfield down here. These skirmishers can be detached so that McCord and Cook can take over their position, and General Liddell's division is now moving to attack us. This is exactly what we want. These 10-pounders and 6-pounders need to get ready. Garfield's skirmishers need to hold their ground. Garfield himself needs to rotate slightly. And Mahone and Price can move forward a little bit to hold back enemy skirmishers. These 6-pounders can also move down this road so that we have a good option to shoot at Whitehall. This unit has already bled a lot in the first day of fighting. And we should hopefully be able to inflict a lot of casualties. Garfield, if possible, also open up on the flank of Whitehall. This should allow us to drive back this unit with ease. All of our artillery pieces also focus on this large unit. They are a much easier target than isolated skirmishers. Price, you're going to double time it. I have to be careful about his flank. And maybe we are able to delete an entire brigade early on in the battle. Over here our lines are holding. We have some more 6-pounders that wanted to rush out far ahead. Let's order them back. And we should now be in a position that is relatively easy to hold. If the battlefield expands and we have the option to retreat behind this small creek, I will of course do so. There's Whistle falling back, there are skirmishers falling back. And I want to send Price's skirmishers forward. The enemy has artillery somewhere in this rough area. Or better, let's order Price to fall back. We do not want to get him in danger. We're going to send McCord forward. He is much closer to Ashley's skirmishers. Garfield has taken a few casualties, so are his skirmishers, but I think we should be able to drive back Ashby and these skirmishers with relative ease. Yeah, there Ashby is withdrawing. Can we get McCord forward on these skirmishers? And after that we're going to focus on Scott. McCord, open up on Ashby. And for now our artillery can stop firing. I don't think these guns are in range. Ashby is withdrawing once more. McCord, I'm going to get your skirmishers over here so that we can have an eye on the enemy. There's Gowan, he is not engaging as of now. Gowan has also bled heavily yesterday. And there's Robertson's artillery. It is a very strong battery. But I doubt we have the option to reach them. Gist's division is now coming up. McCord, you're going to fall back. 6-pounders, open up. 10-pounders, open up. And these 6-pounders are also allowed to open up. Unfortunately, we do not have any ammunition supplies. General, you're going to get down here to support the troops. McCord, you're going to shift to not expose your flank to Wethel. And Garfield is going to continue his fight against these skirmishers. They're down to 171 men. Maybe we're able to break them. Mahone, you're going to move forward on Wethel. And we can now turn the right flank of the Confederates. Several brigades are threatening our position. It is Chetham's division. And we have received more reinforcements. The battlefield has opened up and we are sending more and more forces forward. We're going to fortify over here. And depending how the battlefield is going to progress, we are going to withdraw further to these lines. We have some defensive ground over here, but so far I'm not going to deploy our soldiers in it. McCord's skirmishers might be able to push a little bit. We see artillery fire coming from roughly this direction. And we know that the enemy has artillery over here. Let's get Mahone's and McCord's skirmishers down. Maybe we're able to hit them. We have Howard's artillery, we have Hubert's artillery, we have Robertson's artillery, and infantry that is pulling to the north. I'm willing to send McCord forward. Maybe we are able to hit those artillery pieces and turn them before enemy infantry reinforcements are going to make it to their lines. There is Scott and there are other skirmishers in the area that might be able to flank us. Let's hope McCord's main force makes it before these skirmishers are getting driven away. McCord is getting flanked. He is now falling back. Mahone's skirmishers are still able to shoot, but they are now also taking casualties. Yeah, this attack is not going as planned and it doesn't look like we're able to drive back these skirmishers. Enemy artillery is going to hammer down on our forces to a devastating degree. Let's send McCord forward to drive away these skirmishers further and further. Mahone needs to open up. There is Mahone routed again. And casualties under McCord are also going to rise. Do we have the option to get Price and Mahone's forces forward? It is a frontal attack on strong artillery. It is not going to be very successful, but it is hopefully going to weaken the enemy for quite some time. Our 10-pounders are also able to reach their artillery and to counter-bombard them. The enemy has, of course, some cover. Price skirmishers are still detached. We can send them forward. Where are our skirmishers running? We have McCord back. I'm going to reattach him. We have Mahone back. I'm also going to reattach him. Supplies are coming up. And we are at least able to hurt enemy guns. I would like to charge our soldiers in, but this is not going to be a possibility. We see that Gowan and Withell are coming up again. And we can only do a few limited pushes. Price's skirmishers are going to fall behind their main force and then move on the enemy flank, so that Price is able to open up on Gowan. Price's main force, Price's skirmishers are then able to flank the enemy. We are able to drive back Robertson. McCord skirmishers, you are going to focus on those skirmishers down there. Robertson is falling back. Let's try to hurt their artillery. Our 10-pounders can focus on whoever they want. Wethel wants to charge. Price skirmishers are getting flanked by these artillery pieces. Not a good situation. Jackson is trying to flank us. Let's get our boys back. Mahone should be able to easily defeat this enemy. Let's get Price to fall back as well. Price skirmishers also need to fall back. And Mahone was able to rout this enemy. Now let's also order Mahone to fall back. We need Price over here, we need Mahone over here, and we need Price's skirmishers to reattach. McCord has made it back. Let's order his skirmishers to also reattach. Mahone's main force is getting rear flanked by heavy artillery fire, and Garfield's skirmishers can also fall back. In fact, I think it would be better if we send our 10-pounders and 6-pounders backwards and order Garfield and McCord on better defendable ground. Mahone, you're going to get over here. These 6-pounders are also going to move back. Price is going to take this position. This way we should have an easy time defending our flanks. Sweeney can also withdraw slightly to lure the enemy in. McCord skirmishers and Garfield skirmishers, you can reattach if you're able to do so. Down here our reboards need to shift slightly. And everything is in position to hold off the enemy as effectively as possible. We have some snipers in the area. I'm going to send them forward into this orchard. Hopefully we are able to delay enemy advances to this section. Do we have any more snipers? It does not look like it. Over here we have a strong line that might or might not get attacked. And our men have almost made it back to their new positions. Mahone, you're going to shift slightly to get you into a bit more cover. And now we simply have to wait until the enemy makes it to our lines. Let's get Lyle back a little bit. McCord can hold his ground. Mahone can, well, shift a little bit to make sure his flank is not exploitable from here. Price is going to be positioned over here. Sweeney can now also hold his ground once he's moved forward just a little bit to get him into more cover. And now the big question is how and where the enemy tries to break through. 10 pounders, you're getting further into the forest to get you into cover. And the rebels now attempt a counterattack. The battle is heating up. D.H. Hill's corps has been spotted marching north from this road. He will possibly attack our forces near Jay's Mill. Our primary objective is to hold our camps along Lafayette Road. We have camps on Lee and Gordon's Mill, at Vineyard Field, near Brotherson's cabin, and Kelly's Field. If the rebels repulse us from any of those positions, we will have to withdraw from other roads and Chattanooga shall be defenseless. Okay, we have received a couple reinforcements. I'm going to send our farmers over here. Kite and Garnett are going to hold these positions. Some 6-pounders are deployed down here and 10-pounders are shifting to our north. Hunters are also going to be deployed on the enemy flank, and we have some more forces that I am going to keep in reserve. Over here we have Griffin and some 10-pounders that are going to be sent to hold this location. Pleasanton and Toons are already dispatched. And we have a slight gap in our line over here that we are hopefully able to quickly close. Our sharps are able to open up with a good volley on Smith. Now they also have to be careful as Smith over here is coming up. Let's order our sharps to open up again, and it looks like we have received even more reinforcements. Some soldiers under Jones and some 12-pounders. Let's send Jones over here in our gap. This is currently our weakest position that we are hopefully able to close down thanks to artillery support. And with these 12-pounders coming up, we should be able to hold here with relative ease. As long as they make it in time, of course. Pleasanton and Toons are unfortunately unable to exploit the enemy in the water. Otherwise I would have to fight without cover, and I think this would be a bad idea given how weak our forces are. I'm also going to send Shermer to the north. And our sharps has been repelled. I was not paying enough attention. Robertson was able to sneak up on them. They have taken roughly 50 casualties, I assume. Maybe more, maybe a bit less, but I think they did good fire on the enemy. To our north, nothing much is happening. I'm going to give these soldiers the hold command. We have Canfield in the area that I'm going to divert further to our center. And once our sharps have made it back to our line, we can use them again. Yes, there they are. They have taken roughly 50 casualties. I want them also in this gap of our lines. I think we can use them there very well. And we can now spot some enemies that try to move up. We have multiple 6-pounder batteries in the area. We have multiple brigades as a reserve. Our farmers are ready to defend this section of the front line together with our hunter snipers. Kite and Garnet are also very experienced units, and we are going to be able to hold here with relative ease. I do not know how much the battlefield is going to expand to in the south, therefore these forces are going to remain behind. And to our north we can see that Smith is trying to attack us. Let's get Garfield forward so that we can quickly rack up the casualty count, or not, as Jackson is in the area. We need to get Garfield back and on defensive ground. Our 10-pounders are going to do a good amount of damage though. Can we get reboard farmers out to figure out where the enemy is advancing from? We have strong contingents moving up. Where are our snipers? I'm going to send them north. Hopefully we are able to quickly pop them in and out of our lines. Stafford's units need to move up slightly so that they can get on the flank of Smith without blocking the field of fire for Russell. Come on, Smith, open up. Very good. The first Confederate unit has been repelled. We can see that Sheffield is coming up. The skirmishers of our reboard farmers need to reattach. 10-pounders, shift your fire. And I think we are now going to see a lot of probing attacks from the enemy. Jones is about to come up. We have some skirmishers that try to get through our gaps. Let's get Griffin also in our weaker positions. We have artillery at the river crossing, therefore this position should be relatively safe. These 10-pounders are in the area. We have more 10-pounders coming up. I want them behind our line. And this way we should hopefully be able to stop any enemy incursion. I'm going to send 2 skirmishers into this little hill in case that the enemy is able to rush through this opening. Everywhere else we can't see an enemy advance. Well, I spoke to Sue. We have Manningham coming up. Our farmers are about to open up on their flank. Very nice fire, and with our 6-pounders in the area I am very certain that we are able to hold. Come on, 6-pounders, open up. I want Starhell to move down. Yeah, these are some good hits on the enemy. But we can now also see more enemy forces trying to break through our center. Our sharp snipers are over here. We need to get them, well, I guess further south again. Scales is battling these skirmishers. We have also been notified about some ammunition shortages to the north. We have Forest over here. Do we have supplies in the area that we could send down? We can send a Lyle up, but for now I want our ammunition down here. These guns simply have to hold fire. Now we have some enemy forces in the area. Price, hold your ground. Yeah, we're able to do some good hits. We have Davidson falling back over here. We have Garfield who is taking casualties. We can, of course, always withdraw into cover. But I think then our reload time would be significantly slowed down. We have Gracie moving his forces to the north. Sharps can open up on these skirmishers. They are now falling back. We should be able to do good number on them and then shift to focus on this gap. We have Jones coming up to plug the hole in Garfield's line. We have 12-pounders coming up to further support this section. And so far the Confederates have not fully deployed to attack. We are able to significantly hurt this unit though. They are slowly bleeding out and our casualties are quite limited. Let's order these 6-pounders to hold fire for now, as they are not in effective range. Now, the enemy skirmishers have withdrawn momentarily and we can see that more Confederate forces are pushing to the north. I want scales to shift to close down this gap, and our sharps are able to hunt some isolated pockets of enemies. And we can see that we have multiple enemy units that are slowly getting bled down. Garfield unfortunately is also bleeding, but we have our general in the area, so it shouldn't be that bad. I also want McCall to move forward slightly and Mahone to move forward slightly, so that we can hopefully hurt them a bit more. Our sharps need to fall back again. Enemy skirmishers are once more on our sides. Maybe we can get these sharps over here so that they can slowly dwindle down the enemy skirmishers. We have Hood over here. Maybe we are able to shoot him down. And Mahone has to battle Morrison. It looks like Morrison is able to hit him, therefore Mahone needs to open fire. We have more skirmishers in the area. And ammunition amongst our 6-pounders is running low. I'm going to send a Lyle upwards. This should make sure that they stay in the fight. Let's figure out if these 6-pounders are actually able to hit from this range. No, they are not really doing any damage. Therefore, I'm going to order all of our 6-pounders to hold their fire for the moment. We have Benning falling back. Very good. How's the situation down here going? This lone brigade has been repelled for the moment. They appear to be coming up again. I'm sure we will repel them once more. McCord and Mahone are able to open up on Scott. Shatterfield is bleeding down. Garfield has taken 300 casualties, quite a lot. Russell only took 2. And we have lost eyes on enemy skirmishers. Can we get our sharps forward over here again? The front is unfortunately not very forgiving with our placement of snipers. Wherever I send them, they're always in the wrong position. Mahone has taken 300 casualties, more than he is able to dish out, but we're able to at least drive away these skirmishers, and Scott is also about to fall back. But he has not been defeated, he is just falling back because he is now unsupported. Let's get McCook back and let's get Mahone back. And we should see that Shatterfield is bleeding out more and more. Russell is a very good shooter. He has the Springfield M1842 just like the rest of us, but he is dishing out such good amounts of fire. We have Drake coming in again. And I want these skirmishers to move forward. I'm also going to get the skirmishers from Stafford, just to make sure our sharps do not move unsupported. They, of course, have to outmaneuver the enemy. And there are Ashby skirmishers, meaning that our sharps have to withdraw again if we want to avoid casualties. Stafford skirmishers also move up over here. We have spotted more skirmishers on our side, but Whittaker should be able to open up on them. Come on, Whittaker, open up on their flank. Very nice fight. Stafford skirmishers, I'm going to send them down here. And with that, the majority of our flank is holding. Our supplies have been delivered. The 6-pounders should now be efficiently supplied. Let's get Lyle down again. These skirmishers are falling back. We have Brown coming up. McCord should be in range within a minute. And it looks like the enemy is focusing their attention on Garfield. Can we get Stafford's boys forward so that we can spot some targets for our sharps? Yeah, there are some enemy skirmishers that are now falling back. We are going to get our sharps forward. And it looks like this was enough to convince Clayton and Wright to charge. Well, I am not complaining, more enemy forces running into our kill zone. But I think we soon have to send down some replacements for Garfield. Wright is about to collide with our lines. Let's order the 6-pounders also to open fire. Jackson is bleeding out, very good. I am going to send Canfield down. We need to support Garfield. Our north is in the meantime not getting contested. Trick is coming up and maybe he is going to close the gap towards Russell. Let's hope not. Let's order our 10-pounders to give out some supporting fire. Stafford is able to battle Clayton, but our sharps need to fall back. They have taken severe casualties and were not able to shine it. Come on, sharps, fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back, fall back. I want to avoid casualties amongst you. And some units are able to reach our lines. Garfield needs to shift, his flank is exposed. Garfield on the double. And hold your ground, hold your ground. Canfield on the double. Mahone, you are needed to stop the enemy breakthrough from forming. And it looks like we were able to drive back right. I am going to send our sharps now behind our line to attack anyone who tries to break through. Stafford needs to open up on bait. Russell can only defend for so long. Stafford skirmishers, you need to fall back. And a Griffin is also going to be dispatched to our northern section. Bait is falling back. Russell is now wavering. Stafford open up on Greg. 10-pounders open up on Greg. These 10-pounders are holding back the enemy quite nicely. Sweeney skirmishers, you're going to be sent forward to deal with those skirmishers to open up the flank for Mahone. Banning is going to be hit by flanking fire, very good. Russell is withdrawing momentarily, but Canfield is there to close the gap. Garfield is down to 1,400 soldiers. He is most likely one of the units with the highest casualty count. Over here we were able to drive back Clayton, and we can see more enemy units attacking in the south. Kite took 96 casualties. Our farmers have only taken 7. Our 6-pounders are opening up, and these 6-pounders can now also join the bombardment. Sharp and these are not going to be able to break through. And we're now ordered to secure Lafayette Road at all costs. The last brigades of Longstreet's corps should arrive late tonight, so the Confederates are not yet at full strength. General, if we break their forces holding their right flank, we can win the battle today. Secure Jay's Mill and Brotherton Road, but prioritize the defense of Lafayette Road. And prioritize the defense we will. We will not engage the enemy head-on. We have so far not taken this many casualties, and I want our casualty count to stay as low as possible. Russell is back in action. Let's send him forward. He has taken out over 700 Confederates already. Garfield is bleeding, but he has almost destroyed over 1,000 enemy forces. Sweeney skirmishers are able to deal with those skirmishers. And we could, of course, send our entire northern flank forward to hopefully clap down on the enemy. But I don't think it would really be worth doing, and therefore we are going to prioritize our defense. To our south, the enemy is not going to be able to break through. Let's send Bragg to our northern section. I don't know if they're going to make it in time, but we definitely need some reinforcements. I am also going to get McCord from the north, so that we have someone to replace Garfield with. McCord and Mahone here need to fire on Banning. Garfield can only hold back the enemy for so long. Let's get our general forward. And we have Griffin coming up. Very good. Once Griffin is there, Garfield is going to pull back. Griffin is going to take his place, and we can see that Ashby skirmishers are falling back. Stafford is opening up on Kelly. Can we or should we get our reboard forward? Well, I don't think so. We can see that Clayton is still in the area. But I want Stafford's and Whittaker's skirmishers to scout out. Kelly is falling back, he's down to 1,000 soldiers. Banning is falling back, he's down to 900. And Griffin is also almost there. Let's order him on the double. And let's order our sharps over here, so maybe they can do at least something in this battle. The 6-pounders are doing a good job. We have 2,000 men coming up. This is a big unit. Mahone, you focus on wood. Don't waste your ammunition on skirmishers. Open up on the exposed flank of the enemy. Whittaker and Stafford hunt these skirmishers. Griffin, you can stop running. You have almost made it to Garfield. Garfield is down to 1,200 soldiers. He lost over 700 men. He is definitely the weakest unit of our force, but their morale is absolutely massive. Let's hope that Griffin can hold out, because his morale is significantly lower. Garfield, you can fall back now. Griffin, you're going to take his place. You're going to hold your ground. And with that, our flanks should be secured. Garfield is going to be held in reserve. And Mahone is now battling enemy skirmishers. Our sharps are also almost there. Price could be sent in to also reinforce, but I think this is all going to be worth it. Whittaker and Stafford's men are battling these skirmishers. They're almost destroyed. Canfield, you can hold your ground. And once Stahl made it to their firing position, Stafford and Russell should be able to open up on the flank together with these 10-pounders. We have found more enemy artillery pieces, and maybe our sharps are even able to hit them without exposing their positions. I'm also going to get Hoffman's and Upton's skirmishers out, because of course their guns are guarded by skirmishers. And we see some enemy infantry under many. I am simply going to send these skirmishers out to guard the area, and we are not going to engage. Enemy artillery is now coming ever closer to our lines, but they are not going to be able to break through. Griffin is able to open up. Stafford isn't. Let's order Stafford forward slightly. He is able to annihilate their front. He is going to be able to annihilate Stahl's flank before the enemy can send in reinforcements. How strongly has the enemy bled to our south? Kite has taken over 260 casualties, but he is bleeding out. Very good. We could send Garnett or Stahl in. Yeah, I think it would be wise to send Stahl in. He is going to replace Kite so that we can limit their casualties. Our reboards are doing a fantastic job, but are unable to hit them anymore. Can we get them forward? Yes, they're able to hit them from this location. This should increase the casualties on sharp. We can see enemy artillery flying from way back here. And our 6-pounders are unfortunately out of ammunition. How's the situation over here looking? They sent Govan in. Govan is unable to really participate. And we are still able to annihilate these forces. Our sharps are able to battle Morrison. Sweeney's men are still battling these skirmishers once they are in range. Mahone is annihilating these skirmishers. They're down to 100 men. And McCord is coming up. McCord is, I think, going to replace Canfield. These boys are falling back. We are going to wheel Stafford back into the original battle line. Maybe this entices going to move forward. And now it is about time that we wheel Kite out of their position. Sharp is down to 1,500 soldiers. He is now wavering and he is about to fall back. And it looks like we are getting outflanked over here. Let's also send out some skirmishers under routing. And the battle down here consists mainly of skirmishers. We have Davidson's skirmishers over here. Mahone has taken almost 500 casualties in the fight against those soldiers. And Canfield is going to be sent forward on going. Very good. There is going withdrawing. We have taken roughly 3,000 casualties today, while the Confederates have suffered severely more casualties. Can we get Whittaker and Stafford forward on those skirmishers? And our 10-pounders should now focus on enemy artillery, as the enemy is unwilling to send more infantry to the battle. Over here we are able to hit Hodson. And I'm once more willing to send our sharps forward. Maybe the... Nope. We see Benning marching north. We have unfortunately not the option to do something against their artillery. But I think that Hobson should be repelled and destroyed in due time. Enemy forces over here, in the meantime, are unwilling to engage. I'm going to send McCord forward. Mahone is also going to be sent forward. It looks like we were able to defeat these skirmishers in this area, at least momentarily. Benning is getting pulled back to the south. Let's stand our sharps forward. Mahone, open up on Strahl's flank. We have Fulton coming up. We have Brown marching north. We have a heavy artillery concentration over here. And within 1 hour, this day of fighting is going to be over. If we're able to drive back Strahl, I'm going to send McCord, Griffin and McCone on an offensive. Or better, not Mahone, but McCord. We have McCord in this area. Mahone is getting flanked. Fall back then. And our sharps once more need to fall back. The enemy skirmishers are masters of these guys. I'm going to abandon any offensive maneuvers over here. We could, but I'm not really willing to sacrifice the amount of manpower it would take. We see Gracie coming south. Canfield is taking some casualties, but nothing alarming. And our 10-pounders are getting down to business with their artillery. These 10-pounders, can they focus on this massive block of soldiers? How is the situation to our south looking? This is getting bled out slightly. He's soon going to be less than 2,000 men strong, meaning that this section of the front line is still holding. Now, Griffin, McCord, you are going to move forward. Garfield, you're going to hold the line. And with that we are hopefully able to annihilate those artillery pieces. 6-pounders, please don't shoot at Forest, focus on the enemy artillery. I know this fire is not going to be very effective, but it is going to be worth it. Garfield, you need to hold back. Sorry. We have Gracie coming up. Canfield, are you in range? Almost, but not completely. Let's order you on the double. Russell is going to block the enemy from any form of advance. And in the meantime, the enemy artillery is wasting their ammunition on Whittaker skirmishers. Gracie's numbers are now melting. Strahl is coming up again. I want Macon over here to deal with Morrison. And the 6-pounders can also focus on Gracie. Gracie is down to 1,800 soldiers and should soon fall back. We have Paul coming up over here. McCord on the double. And you're going to advance and drive back Morrison's skirmishers. Brown and Strahl do not know where they want to move. We have 34 minutes left to hold. Let's hope we are not wasting away too much of our manpower. We have Polk and Brown willing to charge. And we now need to fall back with McCord because he's getting flanked from more enemy skirmishers. They truly are our biggest problem here. 10-pounders open up on Brown. 6-pounders on Brown. McCord, hold your ground. Mahone, get ready. Benning is coming up. Polk is coming up. Let's hope that this is a good option to bleed out the enemy. We have Bragg coming up. Let's send them over here. And we can see that Aldridge's artillery is willing to risk their lives. Let's send Russell forward on the double. McCord is taking heavy casualties. He is not really able to dish out a lot of damage. Can we send Mahone forward slightly to give some fire support? Gracie is down to 1,700 soldiers. He is a relatively fresh unit. Still, he is able to hold quite well. We're going to rush forward with Russell. Then we're going to fall back before the enemy infantry is going to open up. But for now it looks like they're just willing to let it happen. Smith is coming down. We have some artillery that is shifting. We have Gracie that is now falling back. Let's get Griffin forward. Russell is now taking heavy artillery fire. But they are still able to shoot down on Aldridge. General Trash Panda, get down here. First Corps now took 10% casualties. Second Corps only 1%. McCord is bleeding severely. He still needs to hold out. Other McCord needs to move forward. Aldridge is falling back. Griffin open up on Brown. Russell is not in range of any enemy unit. Let's order him back into this tree line to give him some more cover. Banning is now bleeding. And I wonder if it's actually worth it to continue with this push. We only have 10 more minutes left to hold. Let's better focus on limiting our losses and make sure that our soldiers fall back into better defensible ground. Griffin, you're going to fall back. McCord, you're going to fall back. The same goes with these units. Let's hope we can lure the enemy in. At least we were able to delete some of the enemy artillery. It is not much, but it is going to make our lives a little bit easier. But all in all, I would say that the fight was quite successful and we are actually able to lure Brown in. Maybe we are able to inflict some more casualties before this day is over. McCord, you're going to fall back. Bragg is going to overtake your position. McCord is also going to open up on the enemy. And after this salve, the battle is about to be over. I'm going to let it play out just for a few minutes longer so that we can maximize the casualties on the enemy. We can see that down here Dies is down to 1,700 soldiers. Stahl only took 150 casualties. Unfortunately, Brown is still on the field. Griffin is taking a lot of casualties. I'm going to send Bragg forward. But once we have pushed back Brown, I am going to declare this day a success. Come on, Bragg. Double time it. We can see that Stahl is coming up with 1,200 soldiers. We can see that multiple of the enemy brigades are completely depleted. And they're simply not going to be able to achieve a breakthrough. Not today and not tomorrow. Let's speed up time. Stahl is now falling back as they see that they cannot break through. And these skirmishers are still holding their ground. It is a real shame that I wasn't able to use our snipers well in this engagement. I hope that they are still alive. And Brown is now down to 1,000 soldiers. Come on, a couple more volleys and this unit should be defeated. We can now see that more enemy units are pushing to the north. And the fire of Brown is slowly dying down. We are still able to hit their artillery. Let's make sure all of our 10-pounders are focusing on them. And there Brown is withdrawing. And with that, I think it is a good position to end the fight for today. The Confederates once more got reinforcements and their forces number now 57,500 soldiers and 233 artillery pieces, while we have 60,900 soldiers and 280 guns. If we are able to hold today, we are going to end this battle with a victory. But this has to be it for now. I thank you all for watching, and until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.